Hello, hello. Happy Sunday. Hope everybody is doing well. I am doing well. It is very cold in southern Wisconsin and will continue to be very cold for a while, but not like outside of the realm of like super normal. We do have a few things that came in the mail. There's still some leftover Christmas cards, but we will see what we can see. Hello, Gloria. And hello, Lala. How are you? It is good to see you. Hello, Jenny, as well. Um, what else should I mention? Oh, and Shanna is here. Shanna is streaming immediately after me, so we will be redirecting. 5 degrees below zero. Wow, that's interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that it would have been colder in Indiana than here. Although we're getting a really weird weather pattern. I'm sure everybody, at least in the U.S., is sort of impacted by it, where it's like the jet stream is really low, so it's just pulling down a lot of Arctic air. Linux is also here, so if you hear weird mic noises, it's probably him or random meows or whatnot. He's just sort of sniffing around. Hopefully, he will settle. What else should I mention before we get into things? Oh, tomorrow, Monday, Martin Luther King Day, is the 20th. And on the 20th, it is the Oso Inspired Challenge. So I've been playing around with that. So that goes live at 9 a.m. on my channel. And the cat is still sniffing the mic. Oh, well. I'm sure it is very interesting. Oh, you can kind of see his ear. He was right here briefly. Anyway, we'll see if he simmers, hopefully. But other than that, I don't think much is new. The upcoming week there'll be a lot more videos than normal because I've been playing around with the new Crafty Stamp Co. release that's coming out that goes into pre-order tomorrow. So if you like Valentine's Day or party things, you will probably like it. And the cat is still being a cat. But anyway, let's take a look at some of our Happy Mail. And I did get an order from Biddy Penny, which came with a bunch of cool stuff. So I wanted to show that to you as well. And now we have Cat Shaky Cam elsewhere. Sir, could you, let me see if I may be able to scooch him. Can you scooch? No. He does not want to scooch. Anyway, let's take a look at our Happy Mail. Hopefully he will behave. I guess I'll mention, too, that as we talked about last week, ooh, this looks like a birthday card. How cute is this? Look at the embossing. That is so pretty. Not to be like an ooh squirrel. It's a very pretty card. I like this. It's really, let's see. Oh, this is not so it's basically like a panel, like a number of inset panels. Oh, now he's here. Let me move water off my desk just for my own later sanity. Sir, you can scooch. Please don't. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Don't knock my monitor off, and please, let's not knock the monitor off the desk. Yeah, there you go. Okay, we're settled. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, this stream, I have paintbrushes because we're going to play around with some of those new colored pencils that we got and see how we like them. Anyway, so it's more of us watching things stream as opposed to a making things stream. So if you want to do making things, there will be a bunch of videos coming up. So Oso Inspired is on Monday, and then there are 2 videos the week. There's also a video on Saturday as well. Ooh, what a pretty piece of ephemera. And a lovely, that's lovely for my friend Cindy. I like this design a lot, though. It's simple, but like, yeah, I don't know, like it's very clean. Kind of interesting because you have sort of your red and yellow, which are like in the same color family, and then the blue really pops because it on the red. Anyway, really like the color palette on this one. Thanks. Oh, thanks, Deborah. Yeah, I always forget to tell people to do the thumbs up and YouTube things. Also, feel free to subscribe if you want to get notifications about my thingies And I think we have another craft roulette person. Although it's a little like, I don't know, like I wish my birthday and Christmas didn't coincide because like I never know what thing the cards are for. So after a certain point, it's like you don't really want to like open the Christmas card before you open all your Christmas cards. Anyway, let's see if we can't. I am doing a poor job of opening envelopes today. One of my YouTube friends is very good about like using the envelope opener and pre-opening everything. Maybe I should do that. What am I doing? There we go. Ooh, oh, it comes with bonus things. How cool is this? Some pretty awesome map paper. Italy, I will guess. Like if that's the bottom of Italy. And this is Sicily, like it's the toe of the boot. I think that's what this is. Anyway, love it. I haven't even looked in the card and I'm already happy. We have a really nice vintage card. It looks like the gears are stenciled, and then obviously the other ones are blingy bits. Wishing you the very best birthday. Very awesome. Well, at least this one is dated 12/24, and I don't feel really bad, but that is cool. I always love when they come with like freebie bits as well, I don't do that, but I probably should because I often have little pieces of ephemera or whatnots that I could throw in. Hey, Linda, how are you? It is always good to see you. Hopefully, things in Ohio are less cold than here, but probably not. But I don't know. It's kind of weird. The weather's a little interesting, and that often we'll get like a week of this sort of. It's just zero kind of weather, but we got like 4 days of it last week, and then it warmed up to like 45, and now we're gonna get some more of it, and we have a very pretty. Ooh, I like this. Really nice. It looks like it's embossing, but it looks like a resist technique. Although it may have been blended on and then wiped off, but really cool. I like that. It's funny. I just found a whole bunch of oxides organizing. His happy birthday, and then we have one of these great notes. I need to make one of these for this year to just have a nice standard insert. I think some folks have actually made them for the crafting community, so I'll have to look at that. But I really like that. Very classy. And I don't know. This year I want to get better at handwriting because my handwriting is not great. And you see some of these addresses and ooh, very pretty. Oh, I like this. I think this is Stampin' Up! Paper. I want to say because I think I did a swap card with this same paper. But very nice stamp. Cool oval. Because I think that's a Stampin' Up! Oval too. It's bad when you are like, oh, I know what that product is. And oh, is it a matchbook card? It is a matchbook card. How fabulous. Mary Lander. No, it isn't. Wishing you another trip again. How pretty. Look at the fabulous handwriting too. Like I wish I could write like that. I write more like, a doctor or a lawyer. If I can. Oh. You can actually fold this back a little bit. Oh, this is cool. Donna May. Oh, what a cute little stamp. I think that's one of the tailor made for me, whatever their custom. TE for me, I think is their custom thing. And there's a cat poking at us. Well, two. But one that is made of felt, one that is made of cat bits. And ooh, I see glitter. Not that kind of glitter, Pam. The kind of glitter that is confined to paper. That's really neat. Diamond painting. This might be from my friend. Oh, this is from my friend Annie. How fabulous. That's a really nice mix. I think this is a Kendra sketch. I love the icy blue. The icy blue and the silver is a really nice color combination. And it says happy birthday. Very cool. I like that a lot. That's really nice. Thank you, Annie. I appreciate that. And then we have what looks to be a slimline envelope, but we don't know what is in it. Probably a slimline, but you know. I felt something there. We have a. Wow, look at this. Oh, this is what I felt. I felt all the dimension on here. There's also bubble wrap in there, but some really cool use of foil. Wishing you many trips around the sun. I bet it's a craft roulette. Craft roulette person. Oh, delightful. Love it. And this isn't like a super complicated card to put together either, but it just looked really neat with I really like the sort of the white space combined with all the foil. Like, it's just a really fun look. And I don't get many slim lines. So I bought 2 of these mug rugs from Biddy Penny. And there were a couple things I didn't know that I'll just share with you. One, this is my hand and this is the mug rug, and I don't have a mug here. Do I have a mug size thing? Okay, like we'll turn this upside down and hope this isn't a problem. But I'm sorry, you can't really see that. But it's quite what I mean, like a normal mug is like this size, so this can hold like one of those big character mugs, and it's quite thick, which will be nice. I'm gonna bring this one into work, but I was impressed by the size. I thought it would be sort of mug size, so I'm really happy that it's oversized. And we have a card. We will open the card because we're not savages. I think this is the Valentine's Day robot card. I could be wrong. I think this may be a card. I am pretty sure. Oh, I might be wrong. Okay, I might be wrong. I thought this was a card. Oh, it is the card. So these are bits from the new. Is Dawn around? Dawn would know what this Biddy Penny collection is called. This is it's not the Gal Pals one, but there's another one. And I should know what it's called because I bought it because it had robots in it. But it has some fun, cute animals. It also has some really kind of neat, got some very nice pastel patterns in it. And she did mention that if you do pick up the pad and want to use it, printing on photo paper is a lot nicer. And I believe this is one of the 4-bar cards she was talking about, because I believe this is basically half of a 5x7. It is. So I haven't actually ever made this size, so this might be a fun thing to try. It's all done in silver. She actually did this on a live, has a very nice message in it, and again, a really easy to put together scrap card if you have a lot of focal images. They're really cute robots. And then there were a bunch of freebies. So we have some sample packs of these gilded roses, which look like they'll be very, very Valentine's Day. Yeah, so these are not the full packs, but these are sample packs of a bunch of different paper. I've actually never had her paper in hand in person. Hey, Paula, how are you? Good to see you. So we're gonna definitely use some of this in the near future because I like how she in her Valentine's Day collection is really good too. And then it's like not specifically any it's not it's very, I don't know, like whatever we were calling Valentine's Day, Valentine's Day, whatever you want to call that. But onto our little swatchy project, and we'll see if let me move some things because I don't want to douse my desk. But we got 2 pencil sets to play around with, and I've used neither of these before, and they're actually not opened yet. And I finally got a pencil set I really wanted, so thought it'd be fun to swatch these. But then as I was thinking, I thought we probably could use one of our more modern this is an Altenew set, but my thought was we could use one of these triangles, or maybe even these chevrons, and sort of make a little bit of a fun pattern. But I thought we would do just sort of a straight swatch. So I grabbed and cut poorly some Simon Hurley. I think it's Simon Hurley paper. It's a stark white cardstock that he uses, which is, I believe, made by Nina. But anyway, so I will move the stamp out of the way, and let's take a look at this one. Looks like it'll be easier to get into. So, and these Staedtler pencils I have not used before. I've used neither of these brands before, actually. I couldn't be incorrect about it being easier to get into. Yeah, there's a lot of tape. Let me grab my not paper scissors. There we go. And take a look at it. Oh, has it been snowing? Interestingly, the snow almost entirely missed Wisconsin. We really have had not much snow to speak of. Although last year it kind of did the same thing where it didn't snow very much and then snowed a lot in April, which was unideal, but you know. So these are and it comes with a little brush, which is cool. The Norris Aquel. So they're constructed basically like a normal pencil. So let us just swatch a couple and then add a little bit of water. Let's grab a nice blue. And these are a shorter pencil, but I had looked into these and I think these are quite easy to find. It's interesting. There's like this white line here, and I don't know if that's a manufacturing thing or if there's like a layer that actually wraps the pigment. You see that? Anyway, I don't think I've seen any pencils before that look like that. So I'm just putting down color lightly here to get a sense of these. And then we'll just go back in and put a little more pressure just to see. So you can get a pretty nice gradient with these using them without water. That's not really focusing all that well. Oh well, it focuses down there. So these are interesting. Let's swatch an unrelated color just so we can get sort of a vibe. How about a nice orange? I think this is orange. Or this is a brown, one or the other. It is made in Germany, but it doesn't appear to have an actual... Yeah, it has a branding, but it doesn't actually seem to have a color name, which is interesting. Oh yeah, this one's... Looks like our vibrancy. I'm pretty happy with like the color payout we're getting. That one's really pretty. That's a really pretty color. So let's take a look at that. These are definitely, these would be pretty easy to color an image with. which is always a good thing because, like, that's probably how I'm going to use them. Perhaps even in a few minutes. And let's grab our water. Now, I grabbed 2 brushes. I grabbed and this is my very well used water thingy, but I grabbed a flat brush. This might actually be a rigger, but I think it might. Yeah, this is just a 1/4 inch like wash brush, and this is designed for watercolors. So let's see how it does. I'm sorry, you're getting. Oh, at least on camera, it's not too bad. In real life, there's kind of a weird shadow because the cat. So what I'm gonna do is let's go into the blue and just wet this a little bit. I got most of the water off this brush because I am working on paper that is not watercolor paper. Let's just see if we can. So the color definitely blends out if you get it wet. So you can see there's sort of a base pigment, but the paper, the paint, or not the paint, but the pigment basically stays where you put it. I'm just going to switch over. This is more of an acrylic brush. This is a scrubbier brush. So I'm curious how it will go. And wow, that's interesting. This brown is quite vibrant. I may need to reload with a little bit more water, but yeah, and you can definitely, let me just pull it a little down. So you can see, like, it really will pull the color pretty well, but it definitely blends it out. So these are pretty nice. And you can see, let me swap over. I should grab a pokey tool. A pokey tool would be easier to point with, wouldn't it? So like the original line is kind of here, but the pigment did pull in both cases. The blue moved around a little bit less. I'm curious if that was because of the brush or not. So let me just go back in, knock most of the water off my brush, and see what we can see. I think so. Yeah, so the brown definitely moved a little bit better, but there we go. That's a little more in focus. Sorry about that. But both blended out pretty nicely. So I think these would be good if you were sketching like a colored image. And I just dropped something. Oh, I think it was a pokey tool. Anyway, so if you're coloring, like, if you're doing colored pencil on like a sketch on a stamped image, I think these would both work pretty nicely. So let us compare. And I didn't, and just running my hand over the paper, you can definitely feel where this creates a little bit of texture on the paper compared to the smoothness. Either from the pencil or just from what word am I looking for? Just due to the water and the scrubbiness. And I will probably go back and label these just so I have a swatch. These are the Caran d'Ache Super Color. And I will say that both these brands are available, I'm pretty sure, at my Michael's. The Staedtler, if you care about packaging, is just basically packaged in cardboard. The Caran d'Ache is in a nicer case because this is in metal. This is similar to, well, you guys are probably familiar with metal cases. Let's see if we can't open this the correct way. Oh, this is interesting. So it actually opens this way. There is some literature, very cute on vellum. How everything is great for over 100 years. And then we have little stickers if we want to put Caran d'Ache stickers on something. So let's, for sake of my later sanity, let's try another blue, and we will see how this lays down. Oh, we have better. So I will attempt to kind of do the same thing. Oh, wow. So these are laying down more pigment more quickly for sure. That's not necessarily a good or a bad thing, just because, I don't know. It's sort of a personal preference. So that went down really quickly. It didn't really erode the tip too much, so that's nice. Some things like Prismacolors are sort of notorious for the pencils. Oops, I dropped something on the floor. Oh, another marker. The side effects of marker coloring. There are markers everywhere. But again, I think both of we'll see how they perform with water, but I think both of these are very serviceable if you wanted to do colored pencil coloring. Depending on how we are on time. Oh, we're doing well on time. We might actually make something. Anyway, let's see how these perform. So I'm just going to, okay, so these are a lot more vibrant. Wow. Those are exceptionally vibrant. I believe Delise said this was one of her favorite brands, and I can see why, because you get a lot of color payoff. Let's try just pulling the color. So kind of like these. The color stays where you put it, pretty much. Let's see how oh, yeah, the brown is very similar, I would say. So, yeah, and you don't really pick up much color. So in this kind of an application, I bet if you scribbled on paper pretty hard, you could probably pick up colors. Certainly, I know things like the Tim Holtz watercolor pencils, which I don't have, and the Inktense pencils, which are not exactly a colored pencil. Both let you do that. Kind of like how you could pick up color from an ink pad, but really nice. I think we have definitely two different schools of thought. The Stadlers are much more watercolory to my eye, and the Caran d'Ache are much more intense. So, although it's interesting because as these dry back, like this brown and this brown look about the same, but you really see like this particular blue is very vibrant, where this one is more of a navy. Anyway, I think they're all fantastic. Like most art materials, it just depends what you would like, basically. So well, we have plenty of time to make a card, so let's do that. But let us find something that we can stamp. Because let me grab some sort of focal image. Oh, oops. Sorry about that. There we go. That's better. That was I messed with the light momentarily. Not using watercolor paper. Yeah, I mean, this is not watercolor paper. I mean, this is it's a relatively thick, it's a smooth paper, but it's not coated. If you really want to lift something, a more coated paper is going to do better. I don't think any hot press colored watercolor paper, which is kind of an unfortunate thing. That should go on my Dick Blick list of things to buy, just because it's if you want a more Copic-y look to your watercolors. But let me see if I can't grab some kind of focal image and we can stamp that. Oh, I think I had. It's not Christmas. Hopefully. Oh, here we go. We can. Now these are the multi-layered cats, but I think what we can do is we can just sort of just stamp one normally and then color it. And I probably need a stamp wheel. I do need a stamp wheel. And I probably need paper. Let's continue using the same paper. Oh, there goes my pencil sharpener. Let's continue using the same paper because I kind of like the way it's worked out so far. It would be a good test of like not using your fancy paper. And I am going to let me cut this off with enough room so that I can write down what I swatched later. And I think I just want like, I don't know, maybe a oh, that's really good. I really cut this crooked. Let's try this again. Let's try cutting our paper not crooked, like just for giggles. And then this side is straight. So let's just cut a nice 3x format. We'll just do like, I don't know, some kind of Z fold. We'll do a straightforward card, and we can do it. I do have some paper on my desk from projects, so I'm sure that we can decide. I do have some craft, which would be kind of nice. Ooh, I like that. Let's do. I don't know if I have craft card bases. Oh well. I do have navy. Oh, this would be kind of cute. Like do a some kind of a like maybe do a book folder. No, we could just do a Z fold, I think. Let's do that. I think that would be fantastic. See if I'm missing anything from y'all. They're really cool, actually. They're by Altenew. They do have coordinating dies. We're not going to use them, and they come. I'll have to dig it out. So they're layered stamps, so you don't actually need to color any of these things. Although we're doing that today, but let's just go with the cat that's sort of sitting with his chunkiness towards us. I think that would be kind of a neat look. So let's stamp him sort of near the bottom, and then we can kind of play with maybe putting in. We could sketch in a little ground and then do some watercolor on that. Let's see. Oh, we have sentiments. We could probably use a sentiment. Oh, I like this one. Let's do this. It says you're perfect just the way you are. Now that's the kind of card I would love to send somebody. I'm just going to put the sentiment in the middle. And this is going to be probably a little best effort just because it's going to be a tricky sentiment to get straight, but we'll muddle through, I think. There we go. Alrighty. And I'm just going to use Versifying Claire because I think it will make my life easy. But for any of these wet techniques, you basically want a waterproof ink of some sort. Versifying is my personal favorite, but there are a lot of other great inks on the market. I also like Ink on 3 makes a really nice hybrid ink that does all the things. Now, I'm going to be kind of careful around the sentiment just because I don't want to mush it. And that's okay. Let's just... There we go. You are perfect. Now, this is a little off center, so I think I'm going to go trim it before we continue. But although we could also just continue as is and then just die cut out the whole thing when we're done. But I think, and this is what the cat looks like. Oh, I stamped it already. Never mind. Can you tell it's Sunday when you're like, oh yeah, this is what the stamp that I just stamped looks like? Although it's a weird Sunday because I actually get tomorrow off, so that is always a plus. You can just trim this up a little bit. I think we can just trim a 1/4 inch off this whole thing and then make our mat slightly smaller because I don't really need much space at the top. And then what we can do is, I think it feels a little to the right, so let's just cut off. Let's try 1/8 of an inch and see how that feels. That's more like a 1/4, but I think that's pretty good. And then we can just mat this on a 3x4. So but I really like dual layer stamps just because it's nice to have the option if you're not feeling like coloring that day. So I think we would like a nice gray kitty. Do we have a gray? We do have a gray. But gray. And then I kind of want to use... This is going to be kind of muted, so I'm actually going to grab... let me grab a navy. Oh, and this is the one thing I was curious about that I didn't check. The settlers were not labeled. I don't know if the Carandash are labeled with what they are. Oh, this is... Yeah, so this, I believe, is the color. This Swiss something. Oh, no, this is Swiss made. Oh, yeah, here we go. So the number here, this is the actual color. So anyway, someone's probably screaming at me in the comments about that. But what I'm going to do is just sort of color in very lightly a little bit of a ground for the cat to sit on. And I might leave this as is or not. I haven't decided. These are, as the name says, these are soft, which is really nice. Like this goes down very nicely. And I'm just going to color. I'm going to do kind of what I would do with a marker and just try and sort of put color around the edges initially. And then I'm going to probably come back and just put a little color on the shadow marks. Oh, Linux says hello to you all. As he tries to destroy things. In a helpful way, of course. Oh. Oh, my other cat is investigating packaging. Guess they wouldn't be cats if they didn't really enjoy digging in things and looking at boxes and doing all the cat stuff. Anyway, I'm going to start with just like that much, which, oh, sorry about that. Let me fix my lighting so you can see what the heck I'm doing. Oh, that's not, there we go. So I'm just going to go and make sure I'm not overrunning Shannon's stream. But what I want to do is grab my water quick and see if we can't. Now I'm curious. I'm going to try my other brush because I'm curious if a soft brush will move these around or not. So I'm just going to go in here delicately and see what we can see. No, I think is the answer. The tack line works way better. Yeah, so the tack line is a much scrubbier brush, so it just makes it easier. Yeah, okay. So at least easier for me. And we will just go in and see if we can't move a little bit of that color around. The gray appears not to be vibrant, so I think I will. So I guess the question is, so can we, if we get the brush wet, can we just sort of directly get color off the tips of these? I don't know, but we're going to try that and see what happens. And yes, you absolutely can. That is really nice. Wow, that worked really well. So the tips are quite soluble. You might also, if you're doing what I just did, what you can also do probably is, although I'm really liking the results here, you could probably like pull the color onto not this palette because it's got 700 colors on it, but you know, the same general idea. Yeah. I'm going to grab a little bit just to sort of do sort of the, just to give them a little more of a rounded area. Give them a little more chunky realness. And that looks really beautiful. I am going to come in, I think, and just sort of carefully. I'm just going to saturate this ground just so he's sitting on something, just like watercolors. Although it's going to be less of an issue on this paper. When your pigments are wet, they will blend together. So what I'm curious about, I don't have a paper towel. Let's use, this is just random scrap. But like if I were to blot this, would it lift any color or not? The answer is a little bit, but not really. This is not really this is much more it stays where you put it kind of thing, which I think is like makes sense. But I do really like using these as watercolors. I could see that having some like really nice advantages, especially if you're traveling. Because like this and a water brush would be a lot easier to take with you than like, you know, this whole thing. So here's our kitty. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not scroll down. People may be telling me what silly thing I might have done. If I can figure out where my mouse is. Okay. I like him. Oh, I have a $10 coupon at Michael's. Not really a coupon, but you know, I spent much money at Michael's, so they gave me more money to spend at Michael's. I haven't. There was another what was it? Somebody else said something really nice about the mixed media paper. Oh, I think if you like to write with wetter inks, like in a fountain pen, that the mixed media paper is really nice for that. If you are into that. So I think I just need a 3x4 here. But thank you. That's a good tip. I will have to check that out. I was actually there to use my my coupon, or not really, my voucher thingy. Oh, that'll be pretty. Well, I think once we bring in this card base, like the blue here will make sense a little bit more. But yeah, I was there and I was kind of like, well, there's lots of stuff I could buy, but there was like nothing that like screamed I need it. Although they have some really nice Valentine's Day vellum paper, which I was kind of looking at a little bit. But what do I need? I need 5.5. And why did I cut this crooked? What was I thinking? Anyway, like that's pretty crooked. I mean, I'm sure I just lopped off a chunk for did I just cut this the wrong way? I did, didn't I? Yeah, because that's the long way. Well, I mean, this is the right direction, but this is too wide. So we can cut that. Because this is, you know, this only, we need to go, we just need this to be 8.5. There we go. Then you can close this. Maybe sort of. Just do a little bit of scoring. 4.25 is usually what I score at. Oh, we will probably need to use some more of our white to do something on the inside, given how dark the card base is. This 4.25, and then whatever half of 4.25 is, 2 and something, 2 1/8. You'd think I'd have this measurement down because I've made like a bunch of defaults lately. You don't actually need to score this, of course, but it works better for thicker cardstock. There we go. And if I was a bone folder, where would I be? Here we go. There's that one, and then we'll just burnish this one. And you know, if there are, did they give us any extra bits here? Not really, but if you had, we have a party hats, we have spots. I think that's all we have. Yeah, we have. Yeah, there's not any extra doodads. But if you had an extra doodad, this would be a good time to use it. Where did I put all my other white paper? Here we go. So let's just make a inside piece. And then this is 5.25. And we have 11 minutes to finish this card, which I think is totally doable. But yeah, I have the I don't know if they have hot pressed Artist Loft or it's only cold pressed, but the Artist Loft I've used was pretty good. I mean, in the I guess I'll say in the realm of papers that are not made out of cotton, it was pretty decent. Although I have kind of changed my mind about how necessary nice watercolor paper is, especially for like most of the stuff I do. I don't know. I feel like it is it's definitely nice to have the nicer paper. And here you can see this warped a little bit because of the water we used on this. So that's one thing to be aware of. It will tend to warp, but it will also unwarp when it dries out. This is still slightly damp, but I think we'll be okay for this particular card. So let's optimally, of course, with like watercolor, you would probably just wait for it to like fully dry out, and then you can either there are different ways you can flatten it if you want to do that, but you can also just use glue, which I will often do on cards. Or just kind of enjoy the fact that, things sometimes are a little bit unique. Then I just want to put this here. I kind of like how this works. The other thing you can do is you can cut like a mat to write on that's this size, and then you can have this area be, whatever your background is. So that's always an option too with these kind of cards. Now here I want to be kind of careful because I don't want to get adhesive on the part of this that's going to overhang. There we go. Pretty, dare I say, a clean and simple card. I don't know. It's really nice too if you could use this size and put pattern paper here and then do that other thing I mentioned. I think we are good to go. Both the Caran d'Ache and the Stadler seem like excellent pencils, so we will use them as time permits. And these are now dry. You can still feel sort of roughness. If you don't like that, use watercolor paper. But anyway, these were the Stadlers. These were the Caran d'Ache. In both cases, you probably would need to pick up the color with a brush if you wanted to. So what we did here on the cat, essentially, or fully color it. It's kind of neat though when you can get sort of these interesting things where you can see the original pencil marks, even though that the color has blended out. But anyway, thank you everyone for coming. I will see you next Sunday here, and stay tuned for various videos on the channel. So it was good seeing you guys. If you have any thoughts on things you want to see in the future on these streams, feel free to leave them in the comments. And I will see you guys over in Chana's channel in about 5 minutes. Until then, have a great one.